And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Escaping the pressure right. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give them a gain of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
4 down. Set. Fine, 80. Hey, back up. Liz.
Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. The deep ball for Dotson. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now a run with Geis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Cardale Jones, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point good by Hopkins. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A run by Foreman to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And now look at him go. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go play action here on first down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. Well, he tried to get rid of it. Pressure was coming right in his face, and it turned out to be a bad thing.
And it's so easy to be critical of him in that spot, but when you have all those people bearing down on you, probably his last thought was just get rid of the ball. Give them what they want. Unfortunately, he gave it to them too well. Picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 21-7. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Liz. Set. Line, 80. Tiger. Hey, slot.
Out of the gun, Smith. Flush to his right. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. Oh, wide open, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
So that's about as long a non-scoring play as you're going to see from inside their own 10 to 1st and goal. On the ground, Geis, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Darius Geis, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. Hopkins with the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Flag 22. Tiger.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Richmond, down. Green, the line.
They'll run with Foreman. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Down. Flag 22.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Eddie, line, Eddie. Hey, on.
After the interception, here's Smith being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left. And this is caught. They give him a gain of 38.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Geis, they'll try to run it. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll get inside of Washington's 15 before being taken down. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 61 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. A carry for Foreman. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Texans have broken the tie. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game. Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
12, 12, 12.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. A deep ball for Dotson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass. This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving Day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them. On 1st and 10, Smith. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Christian Covington in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
We got 3. We got 3. I said 580. I said.
Now Smith. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll try and get it with Geis. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll run for it. Geis. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Smith. Dotson with a grab over the middle. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route. With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception? Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well. But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Darius Geis on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point good by Hopkins. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's Foreman. And an alley to run. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot.
And this is caught inside the 5. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Hey, you got 3. Come back, come back. Mine. Richmond. Come back. Right. Come back.
From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Do jet.
Now it's Watson. And unsuccessful there trying to dump it underneath. That'll bring up 3rd down. This defense has held on so far. Now from the 3, this is 3rd and goal.
Richmond. Come back.
To the air yet again. Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Demaryius Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans have broken the tie. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot here before break. Smith. A deep ball for Dotson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
And that is no good. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Come back, come back.
They run again with Foreman. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Reset. Richmond.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. And the nifty hurdle allows him to snag the extra yardage for the first before the tackle. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Come back.
Now a toss play. This is Foreman. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now Foreman. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to get
pressure up the middle, and down he goes. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Wide 80. Tiger. 52. 35.
On second down, here's Smith. Dancing to his left. And this one is incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Set. Wide 80. Rip Liz. Orange. Let's go.
Third and long, it's Smith. Flushed out right. A deep ball for Dotson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And now out comes Houston. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Again, it's Foreman. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Throwing on third down, Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Richmond. Two jet.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Watson from the gun, he'll throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Watson now to throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Now it's Crowder. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So out now come the Redskins. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Let's go. Let's go. 15.
Smith on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 39 that time. And we continue to see another example here of offenses just going for it.
And this game has really turned into a receiver's dream and a defender's nightmare because no one's being stopped throwing the ball downfield, and points are going on the board.
Hey, back up. Regular.
On 1st down, Smith. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. From the 50, it's Smith. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever. To throw is Smith. Steps away to his left. Call it a loss of 16 there. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because That's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. This is Alfred Blue. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back.
Come back, come back!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On 1st down, Smith. Out to the left here to Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Smith now on 1st down. Trying to improvise. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. A shotgun snap for Smith. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Kareem Jackson, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On the toss, here's Foreman. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Washington, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.